I'm really excited about this chat. The health and wellness, I guess, sector kind of globally, and then as you move into pinpointing locally in Parnell has a lot of conversation, a lot of opportunity. And this one practice is something that I personally am so fascinated by, and I think you will be too. So welcome to this chat, Dr. Ajit. Tell us about what you're up to in Parnell.
Well, means as you know, and would like to share for everyone, I am into Ayurvedic medicine, one of the most ancient and holistic approach to well-being. I am a Ayurvedic doctor with 47 years of my clinical practice. I graduated in 1978. Now I'm forgetting, totally forgot. So,
Yeah, there comes a time when you don't need to mention the years. You just say for a
yes.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what this modality is. A lot of people don't have much understanding on that, but as we all know, Western medicine has its own place. We can never means ignore or question it. But at the same time, we all understand now very clearly that Western medicine has so much gap, which does not really help, but that's what public is becoming more and more aware, and public is not now interested for just using health supplement or like they want to understand what is the cause of their problem, how they can play a role in their well-being, whether it is physical ailment, whether it is mental health, whether it's emotional issue. People would not like to mask the symptom, which most of the modality and our Western medicine does. And that's where role of Ayurveda comes up, which help people to take lead. And I work along with them, guide them that how they can make changes in their habit and thought. Because this is what Ayurveda talk about, that all our problems, simple hay fever, even to cancer or autoimmune disorders, which are becoming a more and more serious component nowadays. The problems cause is two. One is our habit, and under habit, we try to look at our lifestyle, diet, environmental factor, and under thought, we talk about mind. We don't talk about brain. Brain is a one physical component. But what our Western medicine still not able to understand that each one has mind. And mind is a non-physical aspect, but that is where it governs our thoughts, our emotions. So whether we talk about simple anxieties, worries, anger, frustration, jealous, hatred,
Yeah, all
lies,
this, all the
all that.
simmering things that can cause, I guess, if you want to speak to a cellular level, you can speak to energy, even if you can have good energy or positive energy, negative energy. And like, I guess in that same vein, you can have health or lack of health. And so I love that when you speak to the brain versus the mind, that you different, like you make them quite different things. So if I was to come in and see you, what would that process look like from an ancient practice point of view, instead of expecting, your standard route of GP, specialist, doctor, bloods? What instead would your clinic
Okay,
process be?
people come to me and can come to me for any ailment, simple, serious, as long as they are ready to make changes and understand what is the cause of my problem. That's where my role comes up. If they come to me just with this intention that they have tried a medical doctor, they have tried functional medicine practitioner, they have tried different kind of complementary medicine, whether we talk about naturopath or Chinese medicine or whatever. And now they can think, okay, this person is sitting in Parnell, we can go to him also, and he might give me a magic pill. I'm
Yeah.
not the right person.
Yeah, it's
That is what my
ancient, it's
simple
not magic.
message.
Yeah. Yeah.
My role is if they are ready to understand, ready to work to correct the cause, I'm the right person. I can help them, whatever problem people suffer. So
Mm.
what I do is once they have given me that these are my main concern, then I use my different diagnostic tool. One of them is the pulse examination. Then I do the tongue examination. Then we have Ayurvedic iridology. Based on that, I can assess that where the problems are and how far the problem has gone deeper. Right?
Ah.
And based on that, I create a plan for them. And plan is related with by giving them first level of understanding that how they have to follow certain routine we call as our daily routine, daily regime. Then I will give them a detailed list of the incompatible food, what they might be having. And when we say incompatible food or diet, my role is not just to tell them you are gluten free, you are allergic to uh, nightshades and that kind of thing. That's not our approach. We are very specific with every food and how that food is taken by them.
Mm.
Even the food might be wonderful, but when you combine them together, that becomes the most incompatible for their body makeup. So that's the guideline. And then I will provide them certain solution. And solutions are not just giving them herbal supplement. Okay, you got a gut issue, so you don't worry. Keep doing what you are doing and take this 1 teaspoon of hydrochloric acid 3 times a day and you will be done. That's not my job. I will be making them understand that why your body at a first place stop producing right amount of hydrochloric acid, which is responsible for metabolism. So that's the way point of difference Ayurveda brings up. And I'm fortunate that I'm practicing in this country for last 30 years and people are accepting and understanding the value of this medicine.
Yeah, and have you found in that time that you mentioned earlier, it's becoming more common in the health and wellness space for people to be curious and for people to not necessarily want a quick fix so they can go along with what they're doing, take no accountability or do anything that's different and expect a pill to fix it. Are you finding that more people are open to accepting that they need to make the change first for things to then help their health and wellness instead of just a quick fix?
Answer will be yes. Definitely, public is becoming more and more interested, but they all facing two big challenge. Challenge are that they have to spend from their own pocket. Now, in the last 4 and 5 years, I have seen that mental health becoming such a big issue everywhere, including New Zealand.
Yeah.
And but when we know, when people go to our mainstream, their mental health is being masked by either giving them antidepressant, anti-anxiety pills, sleeping pill, and ask them to live with it. Whereas in Ayurvedic approach for mental health, we have a mental well-being program because we work with the root cause. But then problem comes up, people have to follow that program and they have to spend money from their own pocket. So that's where the hesitation comes, especially in this hard time of living where people are all suffering for, or means struggling for bread and butter. For
Yeah, for
them,
sure. And
even
where do you
though they
put,
know that this small pink, yellow, white tablet is pure poison because it's chemical based, they have to take it because they can't afford for their well-being. In the
yeah.
same way, I will share with you a lot of people in our country, I will say every third person or fourth person, if I go with the stat, is suffering from musculoskeletal problem, which is what we call as your lower back problem, disc problem, prolapsed disc, frozen shoulder, or other kind of issues. They all go, yes, that's my,
I'm just making sure my shoulders
yes.
still move. Nothing's frozen there. That's good.
So they all go to physio, they all go to different kind of practitioner because they are all being covered by the ACC. So they feel that, okay, I can go there. I don't have to spend anything, even though my problem is not getting anywhere, but they keep doing.
Mm.
But we have a very special musculoskeletal program because we can correct the cause, why that has happened, and help them to get better within 2 or 3 times. But then problem comes up when they know that they have to pay from their own pocket. We are not being covered by ACC. This is another big issue that when I tried to, when I came in this country with our ministers, whether it is national or labor or everyone, but then they all looking for that, okay, by looking into Ayurvedic medicine, how many more votes we will catch up. So that's where the catch is, political platform.
And it's really, I'm quite passionate about it. And I'm actually probably guilty a little bit of what you're even saying yourself. But at what point do we put our own wellness above where, what else we're spending limited funds on? Do we wait till we find out that it's terminal and then we're in a panic, or do we actually jump in front of it and say, you know what? I'm starting to feel anxious. My load is too heavy. My lower back is where that stress seems to sit in my body. And you pay attention to things when they are uncomfortable but not terminal, and that's when you kind of jump in front of it. Why, yes, it's a money issue, and also what is it about our Western culture that makes us wait till it's so dire that we have no alternative but to try something different?
Well, what you said touches such a sensitive subject, and it hurt me, and it's painful, right?
Mm.
That people will not see that investing in their own well-being is a long-term sort of investment which will pay them at the end. Whereas a problem is people will spend money on other item. I'm not saying that don't spend that. If they want to drink alcohol, they will go and buy the most costly one, right? Even though they know that alcohol will be bad for them.
Mm.
But then when it comes to their wellness, and as you said, that if small niggles are coming up, they don't listen to their body. They will say, okay, I can take Panadol, I can take an anti-inflammatory, I can take antihistamines and keep having that problem. And once their immune system crash, then they start looking at, I don't want to say, but yesterday I was having a client in my clinic who was having a blood cancer,
Yeah.
right? And when he has a blood cancer, he has been to hematologist, and because that is what my approach is. I always say that, look, you can't ignore our mainstream system, but then you also know that hematologist and your oncologist not going to advise you that what changes you can bring in your lifestyle and the mental state and the diet, which can help to mitigate your problem to some extent along with their health.
Mm.
And that's the approach which we all should focus on, integrated approach. But integrated approach is not just you take salad, you do exercise,
Yeah.
you fight with the
Yeah.
machine. That
Yeah.
is not the integrated approach.
Yeah, they do. They do really kind of, if you're open to investigating, um, and it's funny because it's almost like people feel safer in that known space of almost being told what to do because it's something that's been done before. Whereas the marriage of ancient healing practices and the support of what is available in that general GP practitioner space, to your point, they can work beautifully and support each other. But also,
Totally.
you want to go to a place where it's a really individualized approach, which mainstream isn't. It's like, oh, well, okay, you've got blood cancer, so's those 100 other people, let's put you on the same treatment. It's like, well, every person is so intricately different in so many ways. So I hear
I
what you're
agree
saying.
with you with your comment, and that's what we all need to think, that whatever problem you are suffering, even if say you have a rheumatoid arthritis, rather than going with the methotrexines and other things and then waiting for knee replacement, if you can start working along by changing your lifestyle, changing diet, working with the mental and emotional factor, if they are contributing, we can enjoy good health with the help of our Western medicine. And that's what at national level means. From your platform, I will request to our national leaders that they should look at this way. We can lessen the burden on our medical system by
Mm.
making people more and more aware that how they can make some changes in their life.
Yeah. And humanity is, I'm speaking grossly general, but people are afraid of what they don't have a witness of, so it's kind of like, oh, well, someone's done that, or, it's having faith in something that you haven't tried and
That's right.
going
So
into
this is
that
where,
space and just trusting the expert as opposed to needing to know all the time. Just have faith. Yeah.
yeah. So that is what the part is, that people have to have a complete approach. Now, people are very much aware about yoga, right? In yoga now, they think that, okay, yoga means taking one leg up, other side, and then
Yeah.
doing the rock yoga or other kind of yoga is not just that.
No.
Yoga is a complete approach for well-being. This is what we call as yama and niyamas to follow. That is where the role of Ayurveda comes up. Ayurveda and yoga goes hand to hand. But nowadays, yoga is in every gym places, and people go there and think that rather than fighting with the machine, they can do this yoga in the gym. That is not what wellness is.
Now that's a nice
Yoga
bendy way to
is,
stretch, really, isn't it? Yoga. It's
yeah,
like, yeah,
that's
practice
right.
some breath work and do some stretches, but it's not getting down to that root of what yoga can be used for in that
That's
space
right.
of healing. Yeah.
Perfect. And the same is like meditation. Meditation is becoming such a trendy word, while meditation is such a powerful tool. But meditation can only be beneficial when you change your thought pattern, when you change your lifestyle. People come to me and they will say that, okay, I sit for meditation after my dinner and I have already 3 or 4 glasses of wine or alcohol, and then I
Well,
will
it's
sit
easier
and
to meditate
meditate.
when you're half sedated already.
This is where Carolyn is the biggest part out in the world. And that's where most of the practitioners who advise them to do the meditation, they themselves don't know. Right?
Mm.
By just closing eyes is not in a meditation. That is where Ayurveda comes up. Ayurveda gives you very clear message that look, wellness is not just symptomatic. For wellness, you have to change your inside. And once you are able to do, you can win over any problem what comes in our life.
Mm.
That is how Ayurveda talk about. And then all our problems are due to our own habit. As long as someone who understands that, they are the real winner in their life. Because in Ayurvedic medicine, I always share with that people that yes, with our current technology and new inventions, we can live for 100 years. But then what is the purpose of that 100 years if 40 years I have to spend my life by
Yeah.
not knowing my family member suffering from dementia, Alzheimer, having other problem, heart replacement, knee replacement, hip replacement? That is not wellness.
No, it's a horrible way to live. I think about mortality a lot. I'm midlife now. I've got a 5-year-old and I want to be alive to see him become an adult and, do well
That's
in
right.
life.
No?
And it's just like, oh my goodness, I've had friends die from things, it could be at any time for any one of us, and we just don't know. So you kind of want to do what you can to feel good in your body while you're above the ground, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Mm.
agree. So those are the things, and I hope a better sense will prevail. People will change. That is where the corporate world, I think, can play a role in their big companies or whatever level. If they can introduce even small talks to their employees and other things on wellness, which is a much more complete approach rather than just eating salad and go and join the gym. That is not wellness. That is what I always try to convey. And that's the point of difference Ayurveda brings up, that you need to follow a complete approach. And if you can follow, I would like to give one message through your platform to
Yeah.
everyone. If you want to see where your own health is today, I will ask all of you to wake up in the morning tomorrow and straight away get out of the bed, go to bathroom, look at your tongue. And if your tongue has a bit of thick white coating, it means you are under the hammer,
Ah,
either today or tomorrow, because that coating actually is nothing but the indication of your body producing toxin, in simple word, free radical substances in our Western medicine. But point of difference is Ayurveda talk about that. Don't wait for those free radical substances to go and manifest at a different level and cause the problem. What you can do is immediately, first thing, before you have a cup of black coffee or organic coffee, you must eliminate that coating by brushing your teeth and scraping your tongue. Within 15 days, you can see how different you will feel.
so true. My mum always made us brush our tongue, and I think even, she's like, you cannot drink anything until you've brushed your teeth and brushed your tongue, because what you're doing then is putting that straight back into your body by washing it back down.
That's
You
right.
should be getting
Simple.
rid of it.
Simple thing. And
Yeah.
this is one thing I would like to say,
That thing that you're
Carolyn.
holding right there, it's hilarious.
Yes,
We got that for
that is what
Christmas
we
two
call
years
as
ago.
tongue scraper.
Yeah, that's so good.
But what you just said, that your mom or grandmom,
Mm,
that is what Ayurveda is. All the principle of this science, which we call as our basic principle, all our elders, whatever culture they are from, right? They always know that how you can start looking after your body, first of all, yourself, rather than waiting someone to tell. And
mm.
that's where this first part comes up. But our problem is we never value our elders. We never think of them and never listen. Only problem is our elder could not explain that, okay, why you have to do that. And that's the point of difference comes up when this science talk about.
Yeah.
Another example I always give people, when they go to buy a car, whatever model they want to buy, that agent will tell them that what kind of fuel you can put it in this car, 95, 98, or whatever. And we never dare to put another kind of fuel because we know that we might get stuck at the motorway and I have to tow away my car and spend money. But we never even think for a one moment that what we are putting in this living body, right? Whatever comes up, we put it in that, and still our body help us to keep going.
Yeah, it's crazy, hey. Bodies are amazing. I mean, they do just push through no matter what, don't they? Until they don't. So where can people listening to this find you? What's your website? How do they investigate further for
Well,
themselves?
as you know, we are based in Parnell Road, 465 Parnell Road. Parnell is our physical address where people can come for consultation. They can book online also. So www.ayurda.com is our website. Online booking is also done, or they can just phone us 09303 and make a consultation. We can talk about and help them. And I will be very means thankful to the higher self if I can make some contribution to anyone's life for their well-being.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajit. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, and I really
Right.
hope that this chat has encouraged some people to go, you know what, this is the time. Instead of spending the money on that, I'm actually going to take care of myself, and I want a long life feeling good in my body, and I'm going to trust some new ways of going about it. That's cool.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Very kind.